Skip, should Tyrod Taylor be the starter?
Okay. I will preface this by saying you can accuse me of letting the Sooner take over inside me because I did grow up a University of Oklahoma football fan. I've never been the biggest Baker Mayfield fan, but I know what he can do. And I'm here to tell you, if Hue Jackson, after whatever they have, 4 preseason games and a camp, if he sees fit to throw Baker Mayfield into the Game 1 fire and just let him go, I believe he will not shrink under the pressure of living up to being the #1 overall pick. And I believe the Cleveland Browns would turn into the surprise team of the National Football League. I could see them going 7-9. It's 5.5 is the over-under on how many games are.
That's a 70% increase.
I know, 7-9. I definitely would see must-see TV because I'm going to watch every Browns game if Baker Mayfield starts from the start. I could see an offense that will at least rival Atlanta's for the most exciting bombs-away offense in football. Because I'm going to tell you what Baker Mayfield does best. He speed reads defenses as he did at Oklahoma, and he can find the open weapon and hit the open weapon with deadly accurate passes. He had quite a spectacular array of weapons at OU. I think he might have almost as spectacular array of weapons, if not better, for the Cleveland Browns. Can you imagine Baker Mayfield throwing to Josh Gordon or Jarvis Landry or Corey Coleman? Don't forget him. He can fly now.
Yeah.
Or David Njoku. Remember, he's a stud tight end. Or that kid they took a flyer on, I think in the 4th round, that Antonio Callaway out of Florida, who might be the most talented receiver in the whole draft, but he is also the most trouble receiver.
Yeah.
If he stays eligible or upright, you don't put him in the slot or put him in that mix. You don't think there'd be firepower? Or can you imagine Baker Mayfield flipping it or handing it to Nick Chubb or Carlos Hyde or Duke Johnson? That's a pretty good array of running backs. And they can all catch it and run with it. And all of a sudden, I know they lost their Hall of Fame left. I assume he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Joe Thomas left tackle, but they drafted that kid Austin Corbett. I don't know if he steps in. I don't know how good they'll be. Their defense was decent last year in yards allowed. It was awful in points allowed. But Denzel Ward was the best corner in the draft.
Yes,
and I could suggest that he would have Marshawn Lattimore kind of impact on that defense if you throw him into the Game 1 fire. So I could see the offense inspiring the defense, and I could see an upset here or there, and I could see 7-9 if Baker Mayfield. Now, I have nothing but respect for Tyrod, but he's not the operator of a weapon-filled offense that Baker is. He doesn't have that kind of arm or that kind of moxie or sort of, as I always call him, a careful risk taker. Tyrod's going to make some plays with his feet, but he doesn't throw it as well as Baker does. So I'm just saying, if you let him go and you let this thing catch fire, I think it could be must-see TV.
I agree with you to a certain extent. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, they go through OTAs, they go through training camp, and the preseason is close. Well, Baker Mayfield should start.
Well, you just invested the whole first pick of the draft.
Skip, I don't believe, because we've seen it happen a lot of different ways. We see they throw Peyton Manning in, they throw Andrew Luck. There's certain guys they just throw. Matt Ryan, they just throw him to the Wolves. Other guys like Carson Palmer, you see they sit the entire year. If it's close, well, I don't really see, but here's the thing, Skip. If you start Baker Mayfield first, because this is the way you have to look at it, the Cleveland Browns are not built like the Seattle Seahawks were built when Russell Wilson started day 1. They're not built like that. They're not built like when Ben Roethlisberger took over second game of the season, like they were. That was a veteran-laden ball club.
I agree.
So this is not how they're built.
Nope.
But if it's close, you might as well, because this is what happened last year. They went into, I think the Texans went in, well, Savage is going to be our guy, Savage is going to be our guy. And they really didn't even look, or really was not even trying to give Deshaun a chance. But halfway through at the half, here comes Deshaun. Well, if you start a guy after the half, hell, you should have started him at the game, because there's nothing that Tom Savage did in that game to change your mind and say, you know what, he can't get it done.
Except get sacked.
Exactly.
Right? Yep.
So if it's close, Skip, you go through OTAs, you go through training camp and the mini camp and the preseason. I'm sure he's going to get an opportunity to show what he's capable of doing. And if it's close, you go ahead and ride with Baker Mayfield. But if you start Baker Mayfield, Skip, do you think those players say, you know what, we can win the division? How many rookie quarterbacks come in with that kind of cachet? because more times than not, the veteran guy, while they might be happy to have a quarterback, they're trying to win right now because when the guy gets good, they might not be there. Very few rookies are good or you get to an ideal situation like Dak. You look at Dak started. Dak was not intended to start. That team was built, Tony Romo, they got Zeke, that offensive line. They were going to run the football and play. I don't know if Cleveland, that's not the way Cleveland is constructed. But if Baker Mayfield, if it's close, I'll say if it's this, Skip, if it's 55-45, Tyrod, might as well go ahead and ride with Baker.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.